Good evening, San Diego. I'm Chief Meteorologist Carlene Chavis, and thank you for tuning in for your CBS 8 Plus weather update. A whole lot of heat to go around. We are talking about some really hot temperatures. We already started to have them across inland regions for today. We were seeing some triple-digit heat, and unfortunately feeling it too, and that was for Alpine as well as for Campo. You had it for the desert, 102 in Ramona today, 100 degrees for Valley Center. Also looking at some 90s we had for Escondido as well as across the mountains, 92 degrees today for La Mesa. You also had the 80s right there along the coastline, and temperatures will continue to climb by tomorrow. So we're not done yet. In fact, we're just getting started when it comes to the heat. Now, we will have a patchy marine layer, area of high pressure. That creates a big heat dome, and it also creates a shallow marine layer. So that pushes most of the cloud cover closer towards the coast. So right along the immediate coast, looking at the potential for some fog to develop in the overnight hours. It could be patchy in some spots, but it also could be dense, and that would bring reduced visibility down to a mile or less. So please be mindful of that late tonight all the way through tomorrow morning. So it might still be lingering around as you go into work in the morning hour, especially along the 5. You also have Thursday. All areas of San Diego County will be under some sort of heat alert. It's going to be a heat advisory closer towards the coast and for downtown, and then more so with the excessive heat warning across the inland valleys. But there have also been some adjustments when it comes to the timing of when things will expire. By this weekend, it looks more favorable to expire, and that will be for the mountains and the desert, but it's still going to be warmer than usual. And then now you're talking about adding humidity to that. That brings in a chance with the heating of the day of isolated showers and thunderstorms. They look to favor the mountains in a key time frame for Saturday as well as Sunday. It was about noon all the way until 7 p.m. So right before our sunset, and that's when we start to lose that heating of the day, and that's when we're expecting it. So as we go into the forecast, the heat is definitely going to be the big talker across the county, and not just for our county, but across the West as a whole. We have heat advisories across the Pacific Northwest, also north of us, San Joaquin Valley dealing with temperatures between 102 to 107, and then just towards the east of us across Arizona dealing with the excessive heat warnings that are in effect right now all the way until Friday night. It's all because this area of high pressure that has moved in. The ridge will strengthen over the next few days. That will also lead to a lack of a marine layer. So as mentioned, patchy at best, not extending inland, and we are looking at temperatures quickly climbing as the day progresses. We will have hot highs in our forecast all the way into the start of next week. Only minor changes when it comes to that forecast. Now you're noticing that the high pressure system lets up just a little bit. So we had the deep reds indicating a really hot and dry air mass. Well, it does look to become a little bit more modified as it moves towards the east, and that would be by the weekend. A little bit of a dip in the jet stream creating that push towards the east, but that also opens the door for monsoonal moisture as that area of high pressure moves closer towards the Four Corners. So that's why we're talking about that moisture in the forecast, feeling that humidity, still warmer than usual temperatures by this weekend, and then also the chance for some thunderstorms over the mountains. So let's break down the alert because it has been changed a little bit. We are looking at an excessive heat warning. Now, for all areas inland, it went into effect at 11 a.m. this morning. It will continue because of the hot highs in the afternoon hours and only a little bit of relief, especially for the desert when it comes to overnight lows that are going to be in the 80s as well as the 90s. We are looking at everything highlighted in pink being an excessive heat warning, but you're noticing there's a different time frame for the mountains as well as for the desert. We're going all the way until Friday night at 8 p.m. That's because by this weekend, you have that monsoonal moisture that moves in, so some upper level clouds will also be moving in, so that will hinder a lot of that excessive heat, but that's also why we're talking about thunderstorms in the forecast. Now, west of the mountains, it's a little bit of a different story. An excessive heat warning will keep going all the way until Saturday, and we could even see a continuation of heat alerts west of the mountains because temperatures will still be locked into the heat. We're talking 102 to 110 for inland valleys. Most of the daytime highs across the inland valleys will be in that range, and that's by tomorrow. You're looking at that all the way into Saturday afternoon. For the mountains and the desert, it's the 90s, upwards of triple-digit heat for the mountains. For the desert, 112 to 118, so back in the one-teens category, and that will go all the way until Friday night. When we look at the next alert to go into effect, that's the heat advisory. That includes downtown, that includes metro cities, as well as the coast. That starts tomorrow morning. That's going to keep going all the way until Friday at 8 p.m. That's as of tonight. This could change because we already had an extension with the inland valleys with the excessive heat warning that was issued. And so that changed earlier today, extending it all the way until Saturday. We could also see this being extended. You'll see what I'm talking about, especially on that extended forecast. Your next 7 days, similar temperatures are expected this weekend. So we are going to monitor that situation. Of course, if any alerts or any changes do happen, we'll keep you posted. And you would also get the alert right there on your phone on the CBS 8 app. Peak heat for tomorrow for coast and metro, you're talking 85 degrees to 95 degrees. Temperatures are going to be warmer than usual. So across the board when it comes to overnight lows, these are your temperatures first thing tomorrow morning. So we are talking about pretty warm night in store for us. 71 degrees expected for downtown. The same for La Mesa as well as for Carlsbad. You also have 70s across the mountains as well as 64 degrees for Ramona and then an overnight low of 87 degrees for Borrego Springs. Highs for tomorrow. Hot, hot, hot. 103 will be the high tomorrow for Escondido, going with 103 for Fallbrook as well. You also have a lot of triple-digit heat that's going to be east of the 15, extending into the mountains. 105 for Julian, 116 for Borrego Springs. This is about 10 to 15 degrees above seasonal. 15 to 20 degrees above seasonal on Friday. Along the coast, you have 90 degrees for Oceanside. You also have 86 degrees for Carlsbad and for Del Mar, 87 degrees expected for downtown tomorrow, 92 degrees for Chula Vista. Please make sure you are staying hydrated, drinking plenty of water. On our website, if you go to cbs8.com, we have a link right there. It's talking about the heat, the excessive heat warnings. Also gives you tips on how to save on your electric bill. Also signs for heat exhaustion as well as heat stroke. And then if you're looking for cool zones, because I know a lot of you do not have AC, well, that's a really good resource. Go to the website, cbs8.com. You'll see the excessive heat story right there on our homepage. If you're thinking about beating the heat along the coast, just keep in mind, temperatures are definitely going to be warm even along the coast by tomorrow. So that water temperature is 73 degrees, probably feels pretty good. And you're talking about the surf about 3 to 5 feet. There is a possibility of some rip currents being present. So just be careful, especially if you're not a skilled swimmer. It's a moderate risk for tomorrow, but that just translates to the potential is there. When we look at the next 7 days, so this is what I was talking about. We could see an extension of the heat alerts because we're looking at 87 degrees. That's for the next couple of days when we have the excessive heat warning, or excuse me, for the heat advisory, the excessive heat warnings for inland. But for that heat advisory, we have weather impact alert days because of that heat. But we're still looking at 80s over the weekend and talking about 88 degrees on Saturday. So we could see a continuation of the heat advisory for the coast and for downtown and just metro cities going into the start of the weekend. And when we look at next week, it's not until next week, by the middle of next week, temperatures start to back off a little bit more. But still, talking about 80s and being warmer than usual with 80 degrees by Wednesday of next week for the coast. You have the inland valleys. You're looking at highs around 104, uptick to 105 on Saturday. You're also going to see some high clouds added to the scenery. Weather impact alert days through Saturday. But when you look ahead to Sunday and Monday, you're still seeing some triple digits. So we could see a continuation or extension when it comes to the excessive heat warning across the inland valleys. We get back to the low 90s by Wednesday of next week. For the mountains, you have the next couple of days, some spots getting into triple digit territory. You saw that with Julian when I showed you the highs for tomorrow. So we're looking at the upper 90s to low 100s for the mountains. Weather impact alert days for the next couple of days. You have the added high cloud coverage, also the heating of the day giving way to the potential for some thunderstorms. That helps to bring temperatures down just a little bit, still warmer than usual. So you're talking about hot and humid by this weekend. You're feeling that across the mountains. There's a slight chance for some thunderstorm activity drying out by next week, but temperatures not really backing off by much. You're looking at 93 degrees by Wednesday of next week. For the desert, you have those dangerously hot temperatures back in the 1-teens. We get out of the 1-teens by this weekend as we have some high clouds added to the scenery. 109 for Saturday and Sunday for the desert. And then you're looking at temperatures warming up by next week on Tuesday and Wednesday. So hot highs still in the forecast all the way into next week. That just indicates to me that that ridge of high pressure, it's going to move a little bit more towards the east, open the door for monsoon and moisture. Well, it's going to move a little bit more towards the west. And so that's why temperatures will remain above seasonal even into the start of next week. please stay hydrated out there. As mentioned, we do have a really great resource on our website, cbs8.com. There's an excessive heat story right there on the homepage. If you're looking for ways to help you out with your bill, especially because a lot of people who do have AC, you're going to be running it. Also making sure that you know the signs for heat exhaustion, as well as keeping yourself and your pets nice and safe. We'll see you right back here tomorrow morning with Evan. Have a good night.